Hey, quick question. Why could your grandparents buy a house by working at a regular job, but your parents can't? Like, your grandpa probably bought his house for 4 times what he made in a year. That means if he made $10,000 a year, his house cost $40,000. But today, the average house costs 10 times what people make in a year. So if your parents make $50,000, houses cost $500,000. What happened? Did houses get magic powers? Did they start curing diseases? Nope. Something way weirder happened. A computer learned how to play a game your parents don't even know they're playing. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how a bunch of math nerds on Wall Street figured out how to make sure you never win the game of buying a house. Like, subscribe, and share. We are exposing the system here. Let me show you the trick. All right, let's start with something you actually understand, a lemonade stand. Imagine you live on a street with 10 lemonade stands. All the kids are trying to sell lemonade. You're charging $1 per cup, but then the kid next door drops his price to 75 cents to get more customers. So you drop yours to 50 cents. Now everyone's competing. Prices go down. Customers are happy. They get cheap lemonade. That's called competition. And for like 50 years, that's how the housing market worked. If you wanted to rent an apartment, landlords would compete for you. One guy charged $800 per month. Another charged $750 to get you to pick him. But then, someone invented a cheat code. Let me introduce you to a company called RealPage. You've never heard of them, but they changed everything. Here's what they did. RealPage built a computer program that all the landlords started using. The program was called YieldStar. And here's how it worked. Instead of landlords competing against each other, they all started feeding their information into the same computer brain. Let me go back to the lemonade stand to show you how insane this is. Imagine all 10 lemonade stand owners on your street get together in secret. They all agree, let's stop lowering our prices. Let's all charge $2 per cup, even if nobody's buying. One kid says, but what if customers don't buy? What if my stand stays empty? The other kids say, that's fine. If we all keep our prices high, customers have no choice. They'll pay $2 because there's nowhere else to go. That's called price fixing, and it's illegal. You can't do that. The government has a rule called the Sherman Act from way back in 1890 that says businesses can't team up to control prices. But here's the trick. What if a computer does it for you? That's exactly what RealPage did. According to a lawsuit filed by the U.S. Department of Justice in 2024, RealPage's software told landlords, don't lower your rent to fill that empty apartment. Keep it empty. If you keep the supply low, you can charge everyone else 20% more. And it worked. Between 2016 and 2024, rents in cities using RealPage software went up 30 to 40% faster than cities that didn't, according to analysis by ProPublica in 2022. Let me say that again in lemonade terms. Imagine a computer told all the lemonade stands to keep their prices at $2, even if half the stands were empty. Customers are thirsty. They have no choice. They pay $2. That's what happened to rent in America. Okay, but here's where it gets even crazier. Let's say you and your parents finally saved up enough money to buy a house. Not rent, actually buy. You find the perfect house. You're so excited. You make an offer, $300,000. But then you lose. Someone else offered $350,000. All cash, no loan needed. You think, who has $350,000 just lying around? The answer, a computer. Let me explain. Go back to our street with 10 lemonade stands. You're a kid. You saved up $50. You want to buy one of the stands so you can run it yourself and make money. But then a huge company, let's call them Mega Lemonade Corp, shows up. They have $10,000. They want to buy all 10 stands. They offer the owners $100 per stand. You can only offer $50. You lose. Now Mega Lemonade Corp owns all 10 stands. And guess what they do? They raise the price to $3 per cup. Why? Because they own everything. Customers have no choice. That's what's happening in the housing market right now. Let me give you the actual facts. There's a company called Invitation Homes. As of 2024, they own over 80,000 single-family houses across America. Who owns Invitation Homes? A giant Wall Street firm called Blackstone. And here's the key. Blackstone doesn't use people's money to buy houses. They use something called institutional capital, basically money from pension funds, foreign governments, and super-rich investors. According to a 2023 report by the Federal Reserve, institutional investors, big companies like Blackstone, now own about 574,000 single-family rental homes in the U.S. That's 574,000 families who can't buy because a Wall Street firm got there first. But here's the part that'll blow your mind. These companies use AI to know which houses to buy before you do. They use something called geospatial analytics. That's a fancy term for the computer looks at a map and predicts which neighborhoods will become expensive. It's like if someone invented a crystal ball that showed you which lemonade stand will be the most popular next summer. You'd buy that stand today before anyone else realizes it's valuable. That's what Blackstone does. According to a 2021 Wall Street Journal investigation, Blackstone uses algorithms to find neighborhoods where it's hard to build new houses so supply stays low. Buy houses before prices go up. Rent them out at the maximum price the computer calculates people can afford. Let me translate that into lemonade language. The computer finds streets where nobody's allowed to open new lemonade stands. Then it buys all the existing stands. Then it charges $5 per cup because people are thirsty and have nowhere else to go. That's the algorithm. Okay, so why can't your parents just offer more money? Great question. Let's go back to the lemonade stand. You want to buy a lemonade stand. You have $50 saved up in a piggy bank. But Mega Lemonade Corp has $10,000 sitting in a bank account ready to go instantly. When a stand goes up for sale, here's what happens. I need to go to the bank, withdraw my $50, bring it back. Give me 3 days. Megacorp will pay $100. Cash. Right now. Deal. You lose because you're slower. That's what happens in real life. According to Redfin, a real estate company, in 2023, 30% of all homes bought by investors were purchased with cash. No loan, no waiting. The average family needs a mortgage, a loan from the bank, which takes 30 to 45 days to approve. By the time your parents' loan is approved, the house is already gone. But it's not just about speed. It's about information. Let me show you. You're trying to buy a lemonade stand. You think it's worth $50 because you like lemonade? But Mega Lemonade Corp has a computer that knows how many customers walk down this street every day, how hot it gets in the summer, more customers when it's hot, how much money people in this neighborhood make, which streets are about to get a new park, which means more foot traffic. They know things you don't. So when you offer $50, they offer $100 because the computer calculated that the stand will make $200 in profit next year. You're not just outbid, you're outinformed. Here's the final piece of the puzzle, and it's the scariest part. The algorithm has decided it's more profitable for you to rent forever than to ever own a house. Let me explain with the lemonade stand one last time. Scenario 1. You own the lemonade stand. You buy the stand for $50. Every summer, you make $100 in profit. After a few years, you've made way more than $50. The stand is yours. You win. Scenario 2. You rent the lemonade stand. Megacorp owns the stand. They charge you $20 every summer just to use it. You make $100, but you pay them $20. You do this for 10 years. You've paid them $1 to $100, but you still don't own the stand. They win. See the difference? When you own, you build wealth. When you rent, someone else builds wealth off of you. And the algorithm has calculated that scenario 2 is better for them. According to a 2022 report by the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University. In 1960, 65% of American families owned their homes. In 2024, that number is down to about 66%. But here's the twist. Most of that ownership is among older people. For people under 35, in 1980, 51% owned homes. In 2024, only 38% do. Translation: young people are being locked out. And according to Bloomberg reporting in 2023, Companies like Invitation Homes have started building entire neighborhoods that are rental only. You literally can't buy a house there, even if you have the money. It's like if Megacorp built a whole street of lemonade stands and put up a sign that says, "Rent only. No buying allowed." That's the future the algorithm is building. So why could your grandparents buy a house so easily? Because the game was different. In the 1950s and 60s, here's what housing looked like. Houses were cheaper, about 3 to 4 times a year's salary. Banks gave loans to regular families, not Wall Street firms. There were no algorithms calculating how to squeeze every penny out of renters. But starting in the 1990s, something changed. Wall Street invented something called a REIT, a real estate investment trust. Here's what that means in lemonade terms. Imagine you're a teacher in Ohio. You don't live anywhere near our lemonade stand street, but you want to invest your money and make it grow. A company says, "Hey, give us $100. We'll use it to buy lemonade stands in Arizona. When those stands make money, we'll give you a cut." You think, cool, I don't have to do anything, and I make money. That's a REIT. It allows millions of people who don't live in a neighborhood to own pieces of houses there. According to the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts, NAREIT, as of 2023, REITs control $4.5 trillion in real estate assets in the U.S. Over 150 million Americans own REIT shares through retirement accounts, mostly without knowing it. What does this mean? It means your neighborhood is now owned by people who've never stepped foot in it. And those people don't care if you can afford to live there. They care if their investment goes up. Let me paint you a picture of where this is heading. It's the year 2040. You're an adult. You want to buy a house. But here's the problem. 80% of houses in your city are owned by 3 giant companies. Those companies use AI to set prices exactly at the maximum you can afford. They know your salary, your debts, everything. There are no cheap neighborhoods left. The algorithm bought them all 10 years ago. Your only option? Rent forever. You'll pay $3,000 per month for an apartment. Over 30 years, that's $1,080,000. But you'll never own anything. Meanwhile, the algorithm's owners, the people who invested in the REITs, get richer. That's the future we're building right now. Okay, so what do we do? Here's the thing you need to understand. The economy isn't like gravity. It's not a law of nature. It's a game. And games have rules. And rules can be changed. Here are some ideas people are fighting for. 1. Ban algorithms from price fixing. Remember RealPage? The Department of Justice is suing them right now, as of 2024, for breaking antitrust laws. If they win, it could shut down the rent-fixing software. That's like telling Mega Lemonade Corp, you can't use a computer to control all the prices. That's cheating. 2. Limit how many houses Wall Street can buy. Some cities are passing laws that say investment firms can only buy X% of houses in a neighborhood. In 2024, the city of Charlotte, North Carolina proposed a rule limiting corporate ownership of single-family homes. It's like saying Megacorp can buy 2 lemonade stands, but not all 10. 3. Build more houses, break the scarcity. Remember how the algorithm looks for places where it's hard to build new houses? The solution? Make it easier to build. According to the Urban Institute, 2023, America is short 3.8 million homes. We literally don't have enough houses for everyone. If we build more, prices go down. It's like opening 20 new lemonade stands on the street. Suddenly, Megacorp doesn't control everything. 4. Help regular families compete. Some people are proposing down payment assistance for first-time buyers, tax penalties for investors who buy houses just to rent them out, right of first refusal laws, meaning if a house goes up for sale, a family living in the neighborhood gets the first chance to buy it before investors. Here's what I need you to understand. Your grandparents could buy a house because the game was set up for them to win. Your parents are struggling because the game was redesigned by algorithms, by Wall Street, by people who realized they could make more money if you never own anything. This isn't about working harder or saving more. You can't outbid a computer that has $1 billion and knows your salary before you do. But here's the good news. Games can be changed. The rules were written by people, and people can rewrite them. The question is, will we? Or will we let the algorithm decide who gets a roof and who doesn't? If this made you angry, good. Anger is the first step. The second step? Share this. Because the people who built this system are counting on you not understanding it. And now you do.